Since the two DJs, Mel Gregg and Michael Christian, have appeared on television tonight, they'll be hoping that the story changes somewhat, and that the enormous attention around the world on them will abate. They've been under enormous pressure, and the pressure was clearly showing on them in the interview. I think that the general sense was that they needed to appear and at least present their side of the story and humanise themselves, and they seem to do that tonight in the interviews. The Australian media has had a very different take on this affair as compared with the British media. There was a front page story in the Sydney press today effectively accusing the British gutter press of sort of whipping up a frenzy, looking for a scapegoat in the death of the nurse, and unfairly really putting excessive blame on these two radio hosts. The general public seems to have been more sympathetic towards them than the British public. I don't think that the original prank was driven by any sort of Republican or monarchist agenda here. That debate has dwindled in the last few years, and in fact, support for the Republic seems to be stagnant or even in decline. However, in Australia, and as in much of the world, there is intense interest in the royal family. The Queen is still the head of state. Princess Kate appears on all the covers of women's magazines here, which still sell abundantly. So the royal family receives enormous attention here. It is still Australia's royal family. And I think the prank was more driven by an attempt to sort of make light or make comedy of this new development and the fact that the Duchess of Cambridge is now pregnant. It was more driven by that than by any sort of Republican sentiment or any sort of sense of trying to ridicule the royal family.